I was born in 1984. Few years that I grow up, it began the first intifada. And when the first intifada began, in the building where I was living, the Israeli soldiers, they took it for 1 year and a half as a military base. I grew up and Israeli soldiers around me, weapon, scared all the time, not allowed to get out of my building to the school before 7 in the morning. It has to be after. And for example, my father, if he was late in the work and he couldn't come before 7 in the evening, he was not allowed to come in the building. We sleep without my father that night. So what the hell that I grow, like I lived my childhood and I grow up with this kind of system. And my father was also in jail, and he was judged for 3 years, and I was just 8 years old. And then my father was injured, my sister was injured, my brother 18 years old was in jail for 6 months, that he was sleep with me in the same room. So I missed him. I missed him. Where is my brother? Like, I was so child that I didn't understand all of this. The Israeli soldiers several times, they just enter in our flat and they completely destroyed it. It's not easy. I worked on myself so much before saying I can live with the Israeli in one state. It's not easy for me.
Drink Cinzano. Fantastic. Digital. Receiver. Digital. I know it. Spicy and water, salt and...
It's no sumac. Sumac?
No sumac, no sumac. Calorate.
شيك كل هاي الربطة بشيك صور لي هذولي خبت اواعك النيل بالحطة اللي يضحى صل على النبي يا زلمه. ايوه احنا نروح فيها الباب.
روما الله يحيي البابا.
انا في تورينو.
تورينو فيري نايس. الثاني هون عشان تطلع على رومانيا
على كوست.
شغالين طبيعي انتم.
ولا كنا شيء صار.
تذكرت انا ولد الولد.
In 2003, I was a student in Al-Najah National University, and I was making my final exam. It was June 2003. I wanted a break from studying because I used to study during the night, so I went to the roof to have a cigarette and tea, and the Israeli soldiers start to attack the city of Nablus. In the old city I live, it's so down, as Nablus is surrounded by mountains. So they were coming by the mountains, the Israeli soldiers. So they were seeing me so clearly that I don't see them in the same sense. And they decided to shoot at me. They shot me a live bullet, and by luck, and it entered from my left leg, got out, and it went to the right leg, and it got out from my right leg also. At that moment, I had to go to hospital, no? So the ambulance arrived, and the ambulance took me, and I was in the ambulance with my mother, and we drove something like 100 meters, and then the Israeli soldiers, they stopped the ambulance, and they took me from the ambulance, far from the ambulance, in the street, I mean. And they asked my mother and the ambulance team to to be far from the ambulance and from me. They checked the ambulance carefully, and they took my clothes. They made me naked, and they beated me so hardly, and they made interrogation with me, a very hard interrogation that it lasted from midnight, something like midnight 30, until the 5 in the morning, 5:30, 6 in the morning. They didn't take in consideration even that I was bleeding from both legs, and the morning I was allowed to go to hospital, but after so many fights from my mother with the Israeli soldiers. And that's a story, a personal story, one of thousands of stories that I faced.